It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Thank you for checking out the podcast. I very, very much appreciate it. It has been a week since the last podcast. Sorry about that. It's been busy. I'm very busy right now in general, and life has been hectic. I'm going to tell you, I wanted to record this podcast at 8:30, and it's 10:30 right now. Okay? It's 10:30. That's when I'm starting to record it. It's just about to start the fourth quarter of Sunday Night Football. The Blazers, I need to pull the Blazers. Hang on, I need to pull the Blazers game back up. I turned it off at halftime. It's no longer halftime. Where are we at, boys? Let's see what the score is. I mean, we're going to talk some NBA later today. I've got an opinion that we've got to discuss. Blazers up 1 right now. Anyways, we're going to talk sports at the end of the podcast today, okay? I do want to talk some parenting with trick-or-treating today as well. We might touch on some concert stuff. We'll see if we get to that. But life's been crazy to the point where I don't know everything that I've talked about on the podcast. I've done a bad job. I've got a list of notes that I talk about on the podcast, a list of notes. And when I touch on something in an episode of the podcast, I erase it. I just delete it from the file, and then we move on. I've done a bad job maintaining that. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about today, I felt like I talked about on the podcast. Now, there's also the mix of, if you're a Patreon member, you know this. Every day there's a new video on Patreon. 2 to 6 minute little quick video, thoughts on the day. You know, in the last week, I think there was one on my birthday about feeling old, feeling young. There was how I failed at Donuts with Dads. There is a little tour of the room that I'm in right now, the little recording studio. There's a video every day up there, and so sometimes I just talk about random crap there, and I think I should talk about that on the podcast, and then that just affects the note taking as well. But I was struggling to remember if this story I had told yet, because it kind of explains where I'm at right now. And in this time of life, we're very busy at work. So work is taking up a lot of my brain power. 3 children taking up a ton of my brain power. And then, of course, my wife needs to be taking up more of my brain power. And then friends, I want to stay in touch with them. And so it's just like all these things that are happening, all these pieces that are out there. I'm tired. I'm tired, and and the problem is I still want to do this at a really fun level. I want you to enjoy it every time you listen, but I start to let things fall through the cracks with all the other stuff. So I say all that to say the story I'm about to tell you, I believe I haven't told in the podcast yet. I'm almost 100% certain. So we're going to talk about that right now. But the other thing I wanted to mention was the reason I'm not recording until 10:30 tonight. I was going to record at 8:30. My wife and I finally just hung out for a little bit and watched the dumb show, The Summer I Turned Pretty. We watched the first 2 seasons together, and then I went out of town for my dad's birthday. Maybe that's when it was. Or I did something one night. Maybe it was a game night or something. But I was out of the house, and my wife's like, I'm moving forward with the show. And she finished season 3 without me. But she wants me to finish the show because we were getting close to the ending. So she's rewatching the last season with me. And it's real dorky, but it's a fun thing to do together and sit on the couch and catch up. And since she's already watched it, we can kind of talk through the show. And she knows when like important parts are coming up for the story. And we'll be like, okay, this is important. And then we can get back to if we need to chit chat about stuff. So it's just really nice tonight to just hang out. But then it was 10:30. And so that's when I hit record on this. Anyhow, this is where my crazy life is at right now. If I've told this story in the podcast, mention it in the comments over at seanslife.com, or if you listen on Spotify there, or just text me, hit me up, whatever. Instagram, I don't care. Wherever you want it, wherever you can get a hold of me. I was at work the other day. This would have been a little over a week ago. I get ready to show up to work, and I'm like kind of in a hurry, and I had my kids with me. I just needed to stop by this one venue. The event that we had ran was done, and I just needed to check to make sure something was gone from the venue, and one of my other coworkers was going to go there too to help me out. So I show up there. I've got my kids, and which is already just like what am I doing? But it's just going to be us. It's just going to be us checking real quick. So we walk in, or we get out of the truck, and I'm like, okay, let's get some energy out real quick with the kiddos, get them out, waiting for my guy from work to show up. And I'm walking around the sidewalk. Woods is running up and down the sidewalk. And I'm like, this is a weird, like, I wear polo shirts to work every day. I hate polo shirts, by the way. They stink. And I just hate, but dress clothes stink. Dress clothes stink. So I'm walking around. I'm like, this is weird. Like, this polo shirt's weird. I don't know about it. And I look down and it's got like the stitching, like it's got weird stitching on the outside of it and weird stitching down the side of it. And I was like, this is a weird polo. I don't feel good in this, but it's what I'm wearing. It's a polo. I think it looks okay. And I just keep on feeling weird. And then all of a sudden I look over. I'm like, man, there's a lot of like threads hanging off the side stitching. A lot of longer threads. And I was like, why is that? What is this polo? I feel like I wear this polo a lot. I wonder why it's doing this. Is it like falling apart? So I'm like feeling, and then I'm like, maybe I need, like, I'm just like feeling around. I like go to the buttons because I'm like, do I need to button this? I just feel uncomfortable. And that's when I realize I had my polo shirt inside out. That's the part of life I'm at. So, I mean, the polo looks okay because I had the collar folded out the correct way, which is the incorrect way actually for the polo shirt. But in the back, there's like where the tag would be. It's written on the back of the polo, which I love that way more than a tag. Just put the writing on the back of the shirt or the polo. It's way better. We don't want to deal with tags. And so I've just been walking around people, and I'm assuming they probably haven't noticed. One or two people probably have. But I've just got my polo shirt on inside out. So I had to run us all back to my pickup, get the kids back in the pickup, and then I was like leaning into the pickup to turn my shirt, my polo shirt inside out. So it's the right way. So I'm like, okay, so I take my polo shirt off real quickly in the truck, okay? In this very busy parking lot. I'm kind of parked in between cars, so it's okay. And I take it off, and as I go to put it back on, the timing is just perfect. The person who's in the car next to me, where I have the door open into their car, comes around, not the front where normally you come in, and that would have been blocked off by the door, comes around the back, where now the door that I'm trying to use to guard me does nothing. And I look over and I kind of stand up, and I'm just shirtless. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at in life right now. Trick-or-treating is coming, and I got to give a shout-out to the trunk-or-treat event we went to this last weekend. Ooh, I love what they're doing. First of all, I think I'm all in on trunk-or-treat. I think I'm all in on it. I am a purist. I'm old school. I love door to door. I love going from door 1 to door 2 to door 3, knock on the door, trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. If you don't, I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear. I'm down with that. Okay. And so I like that, but I understand the trunk or treat thing. You can get it in one place, in one parking lot, maximize. It does have a lot of creativity to it as people like decorate their trunks, and it works out really well. I think there's probably a lot of it that's been going on because of safety reasons. And by the way, one of the dumbest things of all time that we all fell for as kids, and the word of mouth about it was hilarious, was that you're going to go to some old lady's house and she's going to give you a caramel apple with razor blades in it. She's going to give you a caramel apple with razor blades. It's not safe to go trick-or-treating. You're going to get a caramel apple with razor blades in it. And as you get older, you realize that's the dumbest thing ever, because the only way that a caramel apple with razor blades works is if that's the only house the kids trick-or-treat at. It's the only way. You have to be the only house they go to, because I've been a kid, my kids are kids. If they go trick-or-treating normal, they're going to have a bag full of candy and then a weird caramel apple. That thing is never getting touched. No kid is opening their trick-or-treat bag that's heaping with candy bars, Sour Patch Kids, Trolley Bright Crawlers, Lifesavers, Twizzlers, tons of Reese's, right? No one is going to open that bag and be like, wait, hang on. Trolley Bright Crawlers? Absolutely not. Give me that stinking caramel apple. That's what I want. It's not happening. razor blade the heck out of the caramel apples. No one is falling for it unless you're the only house they go to. But that was a fun thing that spread like wildfire when we were kids. One of those great word of mouth things that everybody knew pre-internet. But the trunk or treat's kind of cool. I'm excited this week. We're going to do regular trick or treating. I'm excited for that. But the other thing about the trunk or treat that was great was that it was the week before trick or treating. So we did this on Friday night, 1 week before real Halloween. That means my kids got loaded up with candy on Friday night. And on actual Halloween, I know not all parents are with me on this. I have a hard time, not an impossible time, but I have a harder time stealing candy from my kids when they went door to door. When they went door to door and they did the whole Halloween thing, that bag feels more sacred to me. I'm going to steal some candy. I'm going to take the parenting tax off of it. But with the trunk or treat a week before, that's family candy. That's just family candy. There's no stealing. There's no tax. You just went out. You got family candy. And so you've got this great Halloween candy collection to lead up to Halloween. It's wonderful. So shout out to the trunk or treat event. And a week before is great. Give me a weekend before every time. I'm going to be looking for one next year, weekend before Halloween. And then go trick or treating on Halloween. Maximize the candy intake at our house. Still not somebody who likes dressing up as an adult. Still haven't gone to that. Okay, let's get into Kelly's What Are You Into? Because I think it's an important sports thing we've got to talk about.
Kelly's What Are You Into?
So I love the NBA. The NBA's back, came back this week. Blazers right now they're down to the Clippers, and the Clippers are running, and there's 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We got to get to the fourth quarter. We got to get our guys back out. I don't feel like all the starters are out. And right now, James Harden is cooking for the Clippers. So I love the NBA. And I watch a lot of basketball. And it hasn't changed any this year. Third kid hasn't stopped it. And the East Coast time helps me because I watch as soon as the kids are in bed, there's games going. So I've watched a lot of basketball. And today, the NFL is going on. So it is Sunday. It is the NFL. I know the Seahawks aren't playing, but that has never really mattered. I watch the NFL. Today was the first day I can remember in forever where I did not watch the NFL and instead watched a different sport besides the World Series, a different sport and not my team. So if the Blazers have played a big game during, Sunday Night Football or the 4:00 Sunday afternoon games, 1:00 on the West Coast, I've watched the Blazers. If it's my team, I will make an exception. But today, I switched over and I watched the San Antonio Spurs play against the Brooklyn Nets instead of watching the NFL. And this is the third Spurs game I've watched this week. I have watched every San Antonio Spurs game they have played. I am not a Spurs fan, but we have to address this. Victor Wembanyama is the best athlete of this current time. Okay? This current generation, I don't know, I guess you'd call it generation. When you look back over the years, you look at great athletes. And by great athlete, I mean, obviously athletically, but also winners in terms of winners and what they're doing, right? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Shohei Ohtani, right now in baseball, is rivaling Wemby. You had Barry Bonds. You had Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire with those years. We're talking about the ultimate athletes. And Kobe Bryant, there's a lot of them who are one of a kind. So Michael Jordan, in basketball, Michael Jordan, LeBron James are one of a kind. Michael Jordan, probably the best basketball player ever. LeBron James, second best basketball player ever. I know you're going to come out here and argue, and you're going to argue Steph, and you're going to say, Sean, you said if I argued Steph, you wouldn't challenge me. I'm not going to challenge you. I hear you. Someone's going to say Kobe. Kobe's not better than LeBron or MJ, but whatever. There's these generational talents that come around. And right now, Victor Wembanyama is a generational talent. The thing is, he is right now in year 2 a better generational talent than Michael Jordan was in year 2 and LeBron James. Statistically speaking, that is a fact. He is a better talent. He's 70,000 feet tall. Was he 7'6"? And he is dynamite on the basketball court. And he's must watch. He's so fun. So I bring this up to say, you need to check out a game. And if you have kids, start to get them excited about Wemby, because in a year or two, or maybe even the end of this year, he's going to be the jersey. He's going to be the most marketed guy. Whatever baseball is doing with Ohtani right now, or Ohtani's all over the place, Wemby's going to be that in spades. Seems like a pretty good dude. Seems extremely marketable. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, it's inevitable. He is going to be the face of the NBA, and he's going to be the face of sports. It's insane. Today, and he's done this, he did this the other night too. Today he had a set of plays. On defense, he gets a block on one side of the basket, redirects a shot. It goes to a guy who's cutting to the lane, who grabs it and goes up for an easy layup or dunk, and Wemby turns around, blocks that shot. So 2 blocks. The ball careens out to one of his teammates in the corner. He passes it back to Wemby, who takes it up court, drives, gets to the logo, pulls up from like 38 feet, nothing but net. It's insane. Nobody's done this before. Nobody. Generational talent. And a once in our life, so far in the history of the NBA, there's been no one like Wemby. There have been really tall guys who have played, but they haven't played like Wemby. They haven't stretched the game out past the 3-point line. I honestly would love to, I wish there was highlights. I'd love to see if someone like Wilt Chamberlain was as athletic as Wemby. I'm sure he was way up there with Wemby. I'm not going to say Wemby's way more athletic than Wilt Chamberlain. I will say this, though. Wilt Chamberlain, the people he was competing against, he didn't need to always be as athletic as Wemby. Okay, there were definitely athletic players in Wilt Chamberlain's decade, but not everyone. Now everyone is more athletic, and so Wemby's having to cover a lot more space defensively to get to places, to get block shots and rebounds. It's insane. He is one of a kind. Get on board. Show your kids. Get excited about him, because he's going to take over. He already is taking over. And he's going to be the talk of the NBA for the next 8, 9, 10 years. And, barring injury. Just barring injury. And we need it. I think it'll be really good for the league. I'm really excited about it. Again, I've watched 3 Spurs games. I've watched 3 Blazers. Gosh dang it, James Harden. Gosh dang it. They extend the lead to 9 points going into the fourth quarter. The Blazers were leading to start the fourth quarter or third quarter. All right, so Wemby Mania, I'm in on it. Do we have things we need to discuss here? Do we have comments? Time to go find out. Let's look here. Let's start at seanslife.com. You can go to seanslife.com and you can type up your messages there in the comment section. There's nothing there. Let's go over to Spotify. What have we missed in the last week? Let's find out here. We have something from Kelly McGillis. Says, hey. Hey, Kelly, what's good? Spokane Ian says, hot dog pine cones? Might be something to get them to eat hot dogs. I don't know what hot dog pine cones are. The thing with kids is you have to follow through or they pick up on empty threats. That was the hardest thing for Erica to learn. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm with her on that. I just told my daughter tonight, she likes to, when I take her to school and then I go to work. So I have my backpack with me, which has my iPad in it. And there's been days where it's like we're driving and she's cute and she's like, Dad, can I please watch whatever? And I'll break down and give her the iPad and she'll watch something on the drive to school. And is it great? No, but whatever. I told her today, I said, look, if you're not going to do your chores, you're losing the iPad for 2 weeks. And she didn't do her chores. And so for the next 2 weeks, I gotta be good on follow through, because like Ian said, they'll pick up on the empty threats. Let's see here. Do we have anything else? I think that's it there. Over on YouTube. What do we have over on YouTube? I feel like there was stuff on YouTube. Roberta says, this is in regards to something from a long time ago. When I was watching sports live and Cal Raleigh hit a home run back when the Mariners played. Roberta said, as I said on Patreon, watching you watch sports live is a crack up. Glad you are trying to get the kids involved and then you got some rest. I so badly want my kids to stay up for Blazers games. I want it so badly. I really want them to get into liking watching sports with me. But this game started at freaking 9 o'clock. Their other game started at 10 o'clock. I don't want my kids up till then. So we got to figure out how to work around it. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Thanks to those of you who commented. Go ahead and comment. Did I already tell the polo shirt story before? Let me know.